I got my dream promotion to lead data science, and I was so bad at it that my best team member almost quit in the first month. I was a great data scientist, probably the best on the team, but it turns out the skills that get you promoted are the very same skills you need to unlearn to become a good leader. I thought being the boss meant I had to be the smartest person in the room. I was wrong. It almost cost me my team and my career. This is the story of how I went from being a terrible manager to a leader my team could trust, and the exact skills I had to learn along the way. If you're a data scientist with your eye on a leadership role, this is what they don't tell you in the job description. Let me paint you a picture. As a senior data scientist, I was the go-to person. Complex problem? Give it to me. A model accuracy that won't budge? I'd spend all night tweaking it until it purred. I love being the hero who swooped in and saved the project. I got a promotion and a nice pay bump. I thought, great, now I can be the hero for the whole team. That was my first mistake. In my first few weeks as a leader, a big project landed on our plate. The goal was to build a recommendation engine for a new product launch. The deadline was tight. My old instincts kicked in. I jumped straight into the code. I assigned tasks, but they were tiny, fragmented pieces of what I saw as my project. I tell my team, you build this data pipeline, you clean this specific data set, you run this one experiment. I wasn't explaining the why behind any of it. My primary responsibility was to deliver results for the company, and I thought the only way to do that was to control every single step. My one-on-one meetings were a joke. I'd spend the whole time talking, grilling my team members on their progress. Is it done yet? Did you run into any problems? Here's how you should solve it. I wasn't listening. I was directing. I didn't know that one of my best data analysts was hoping to move into a data engineering role. I didn't know that another was a new father struggling with sleep deprivation. I saw them as resources, not people. The team became quiet. The passion drained from our stand-ups. They were just waiting for me to tell them what to do. The project started falling behind. When I gave feedback, it was always critical and vague. This code isn't efficient enough. The analysis here is too shallow. I was crushing their confidence. The trust was gone. My job was to get results and retain my people, and I was failing at both. The breaking point came when my most talented data scientist asked for a meeting. I thought she was going to give me a project update. Instead, she told me she was looking for other jobs. She said, I feel like a pair of hands, not a brain. You don't trust us to do our jobs. It was a punch to the gut. She was right. I was trying to be a manager, but I was still acting like an individual contributor. I was trying to scale myself, but that's not what a leader does. A leader scales the team. That night, I went home and started frantically searching for answers. I stumbled upon a book called The Effective Manager by Mark Horstman. It was like a user manual for my new role. The book explained that there are four critical behaviors for any effective manager, and they account for almost all of a team's success. I realized I was doing none of them. So I decided to try. I had to completely change my approach. It wasn't about becoming a different person, but about learning new, teachable behaviors. Get to know your people. The book said this was the most important part, accounting for 40% of your effectiveness as a manager. So, I changed my one-on-ones. I started scheduling weekly 30-minute meetings with everyone, and I used a simple rule: the first 15 minutes are for them, the second 15 are for me. In their 15 minutes, they could talk about anything: career goals, challenges at home, a cool new coffee shop they found. At first, it was awkward. They were used to me just talking about work, but I kept at it. I asked questions and I just listened. That's when I learned about my analyst's dream of becoming an engineer and my other team members' new baby. Building relationships isn't about being best friends, it's about building trust. Studies have shown that managers who hold regular one-on-one meetings see nearly a 10% improvement in both results and team retention. Communicate about performance. This was my next big challenge. I had to learn the difference between feedback and coaching. Feedback is about the past. It needs to be specific and behavioral. Coaching is about the future. It's about helping someone grow. I started using a simple four-step model for feedback I learned about. 1. Ask, "Hey, can I give you some feedback?" This gives them a moment to prepare and shows respect. 2. State the behavior. When you presented your findings in the team meeting. 3. State the impact. The way you explained the methodology was incredibly clear. It helped the marketing team understand exactly how they could use our model. 4. Encourage future behavior. Keep doing that. It's a huge help. It works for negative feedback too. When you push code without running all the tests, it sometimes breaks the build. What can we do to make sure that doesn't happen next time? This focuses on the action, not the person, and opens a door for a solution instead of just pointing a finger. To build a culture where this was normal, I started by asking them for feedback on my leadership. That opened the door for honesty. This isn't about burning people out, it's about inspiring them. My job as a leader is to elevate the team's performance. Once I started to know my team, I could set goals that were ambitious but realistic for each person. For the analyst who wanted to be an engineer, I gave him a project to build a data pipeline with mentorship from a senior engineer. It was a stretch for him, but it was aligned with his goals. We celebrated the small wins and we treated challenges as learning opportunities, not failures. Push work down or delegate was the hardest one for me. I had to let go of being the hero. Delegation isn't just about getting tasks off your plate, it's about developing your people skills and freeing yourself up for more strategic work. I stopped giving my team solutions. Instead, I started giving them problems. For the recommendation engine project, I got the team together and said, "Here's the goal. We need to increase user engagement by 15% with this new product. A recommendation engine is one idea, but I want you to figure out the best way to get there. You own this." I gave them the context, the resources, and the success metric. Then I got out of the way. It was terrifying. But what happened next was amazing. The team took ownership. The analyst who wanted to be an engineer designed a brilliant, efficient pipeline. The data scientist who almost quit came up with a novel approach to the recommendation algorithm that I would have never thought of. They collaborated, they argued, and they created something better than I ever could have alone. My role changed. I was no longer in the weeds. I was clearing roadblocks, managing expectations with stakeholders, and making sure the team had everything they needed to succeed. We hit our deadline, and the project was a massive success. The real win for me wasn't the project, though. It was seeing the confidence and energy back in my team. Making the leap from data scientist to manager wasn't about a new title. It was a completely different job. It required me to unlearn my old habits and develop a new set of skills: interpersonal, strategic, and human skills. Your first responsibility as a manager is to deliver results, but your second, equally important responsibility is to retain your people. You do that by being a good manager. And as I learned from the effective manager, the first step to being a good manager is to be a good person. It starts with simple actions. Know your people, give good feedback, trust them to do great work. If you're ready to start building these skills, try scheduling a real one-on-one with someone on your team this week. You'll be surprised what you'll learn. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe.